Despite the potential downsides, there is still an increasing band of commuters all travelling to Canberra from neighbouring cities. Goulburn is proving particularly attractive. Goulburn commuters argue they spend only a little more time in the car than those who live here, and sometimes less because they rarely get stuck in traffic. And to cap it off, their housing costs have been halved. Adrienne Francis reports.
We were about to retire and invested all our money, sold our house, invested all our money in pensions, one for the wife and one for myself, and basically, of course, the global crash basically put an end to that retirement, so back to work it had to be, and of course then we had nowhere to live.
The global financial crisis prematurely ended 58-year-old Stephen Newell's retirement plans. He considered gunning collector and Cooma before parking his caravan on a block of land at Goulburn and starting again.
We saved around $300,000 on the house we had built in Goulburn, mainly because of the cost of the land. Compared to here, we bought 1,000 square metres in Goulburn for $100,000. Where comparison here, we couldn't buy that sort of land.
It's 4 times
1.
4 times 2.
18.
The mechanic joined a carpool with work colleague Peter Rottenbury and his family.
I used to live in Canberra. The rent I was paying is basically paying for my mortgage and the cost of travelling back and forwards every day.
They spend at least 10 hours together each week commuting between Goulburn and Canberra's Woden.
We persevere with each other and we have the same interests as well, so that helps.
Think about it. 4 fingers on one hand.
8.
Right.
There's little time for laundry and yard work at their homes, but the commuting does have a silver lining for 8-year-old Anika Rottenbury. Her homework is closely supervised. Peter Rottenbury and Stephen Newell are among a growing number of Canberra and Sydney workers who are relocating their home base to regional New South Wales.
I'm aware that there's some 300 to 400 odd people that are travelling daily between Goulburn and Canberra to work. And personally, I know quite a lot of people who've moved to the district, both here in Goulburn and in the surrounding areas of Marulan and Tarigo and Bungonia, that still work regularly in Sydney.
The nation's first inland city marks its 150th anniversary next year. Council says the city's population of 25,000 is growing 1.5% annually, and councillors are targeting tree changes in a bid to further boost regional growth.
Tree changer is people that are wanting to get out of the city and experience a more rural lifestyle, yet still with the benefits of the cities close to them.
People coming here say to me they love the shopping, they love the central location, they love the character, the wide roads. And when they actually move here, they are so surprised. They say, people speak to us, they stop us in the street, they say hello. The shopkeepers, the shop workers talk to us.
Real estate agents like Angela Storia say Goulburn's affordability is luring first home buyers.
Anybody home?
This renovated 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom 1920s home on 900 square metres sold for just over $380,000. The new owner is a Canberra worker and first home buyer.
Approximately a third of our sales at the moment are to ACT and area.
New mother Trudy Gilly and her husband commute to work in the ACT. Relocating from Canberra's Curtin to the South Goulburn suburb of Runner Waters halved their rent. She says road construction delays meant they spent more time commuting within Canberra than they do on the journey across the border.
We've found it actually really cost effective because we're actually using a diesel car, so it's brilliant with the fact that it only costs us sort of $60 a week.
They prefer the space and peace of this rural subdivision. Like many commuters, she also enjoys the geographical separation between career and home.
It gives you that wind down time, so by the time you get home, work's an hour away. So by the time you're home, it's sort of all about the family rather than sort of having that wind down of being cranky if something bad has happened at work. So we actually find that it's really, really good.
The last census found Queanbeyan was the most popular location for relocating Canberra workers, followed by Yass, Palorang and Cooma Monero. Goulburn ranked 7th, but the council says it expects the current census will reveal a growing preference for relocations to the city. The Mayor says he's noticing increased demand upon local businesses and services.
I think childcare is in great demand. I think the flow-on effect from people moving here is good for Goulburn, even though those people may not be working here.
But not everyone wants to join the carpooling community, and there are calls for the resumption of park and ride commuter bus services between the capital, Goulburn and Cooma.
Because everybody's starting at so different times and all that sort of thing, it depends how many times they're going to run it. If they ran it at 2 different times, then yes, I do think that it would be great.
Goulburn residents are also campaigning for increased services on the existing railway, and there's hope the proposed high-speed rail service along the east coast could improve connections across the region and reduce vulnerability to volatile fuel prices in the decades ahead.
I would love to see Goulburn as part of that. Would really open up this area and bring it affordable and close to a lot more people. It'll come one day. We've got the land availability, we've got the shopping, the services, we've got the central location.
Commuter Stephen Newell isn't holding his breath.
Probably wouldn't be something I would use anyhow because I think you'd find it would be too expensive to use every day.
Axis. A-X-I-S.
We pass builders every morning, concreters, pavers, carpenters, bricklayers. They're all travelling to Canberra every day because there's work here. They've just built another new shopping plaza, which is basically half the size of Woden Plaza. So, you know, it is growing and it will grow.